We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Atlanta Falcons. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Hunter Renfrow to return it from his end zone. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further. At the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Willie Gay getting in there and picking up the sack.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
They go quickly here out to Moore. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. It's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
First and 10, it's Willis. And this intercepted on the first play of the game. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. The tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here. First and 10. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
When you're backed up this deep, sometimes defenses sacrifice coverage for pass rush because they know you can only go so far on your pass drop. You've got the back of the end zone. So they came after him. He took the shot downfield. He didn't connect. But boy, that was force against force.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it first and 10 now out past the 20. They'll set up to throw. Pressure comes and down he goes. Anthony Walker giving that O-line fits. He gets in there to drop him.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket. He gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. So they'll get a completion. And they'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. A play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So big turn of events there. They had him sacked on third down, but the hand to the face going to give him new life.
And when it comes to protecting quarterbacks, partners, you well know, these officials are not going to hesitate if they see a tug on the mask. Heck, if they see a hand up near the mask, the flag's going to come out.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure.
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Raiders take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now Willis to throw. And it's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Willis. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Follow up a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. The 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Willis. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards to play.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Drake London, the intended receiver there. That'll bring up second down. You look at this Raiders defense. They're just below the cut line for top half of the league, 17th in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
Willis throws another interception, his third of the game. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all three phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick six.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
17-yard line.
Bring it home, boys. We got this.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right, and he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
On first down, Willis. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Falcons. Darnell Mooney, 70 yards. And the Falcons get a bit closer.
Well, since we don't have a rooting interest in this one, neither one of us wanted to see this one get out of hand too early. Here we are in the first quarter. That was an important response for them to score, already down 21.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. From his end zone, here's Renfro. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time. Now, Charles, remember they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
A pretty wild first quarter, 21-7. Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. As they've got it as we resume action. Back to throw now on first down. Flush to his right. He finds Mayer here. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A big pickup of 38.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. And he's going to use his legs here. Shep. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. It's their quarterback, keeping it himself from 7 yards out. And the Raiders have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
Let's go now.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Willis will look to throw on first down. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they're on a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Falcons force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, you know, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Willis from the gun on 3rd down. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Here we go.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Back to throw. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 7-yard line.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped.
Open man, it's Mayer in the end zone for the Raiders touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch, and the Raiders are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough, but man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Open man right side, Myers. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Now a play fake here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you've got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Back to throw again.
And this one is incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Well, they're able to come away with the interception, Charles. They aren't able to move the ball all that much. However, they do get 3 out of it with a field goal.
Yeah, and anytime you do force a turnover, you have to come out of it with points. Everybody wants 6. They'll take the 3 there. Now it's their opportunity to do it again.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Last play of the half. Here's Willis. Looking deep here for Mooney.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Diamador Lenore. And the Raiders are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Up to midfield. And finally stopped, but what a return all the way down to the 40.
And while we weren't quite... You had to start to wonder if there's going to be any life left in this team. And that big return, that could be the exact spark to get them right back into this game.
A first throw for the backup, Wilson.
Well, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Raiders are going to take over here up near the 40. But that one is going to sting. First play of the 3rd quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this 3rd quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. You come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here. So for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well. And that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
Wilson smart to take off and run with it as he's able to pick up the first.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there, because to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here's Wilson to throw. He'll go up top here for Hamler. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. Drake London. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Well, not exactly the way that they drew it up. Harden was certainly not going to complain, because the end result, touchdown.
A great outcome for the offensive side, but a crushing play defensively. You make a quick stop, force a fumble, only to see them take the fumble all the way in for 6 points. Now the challenge becomes not getting down and going out and continuing to make plays and hoping the ball bounces your way the next time.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead's down to 24. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. From his end zone, here's Renfro. And no chance to get away, as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. Was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Call that a very strong gain of 24.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Track 60. Go street.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this is caught at the 20. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 34. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Myers. And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. Touchdown! Rondale Moore, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders have opened the lead up to 30. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Hang on, we got an injured player down there. Oh, boy, that's Odell Beckham Jr., OBJ, who's hurting. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And the Raiders have got him. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. A tough spot here, 3rd and 15. Here's Wilson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Let's go now.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Jacobs going to try the middle. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. He'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Here's Jacobs. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Jacobs again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown, Raiders. Jacoby Myers, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Raiders are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this 4th quarter lead. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film section in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
A little bit of finger pointing and heavy discussion going on in the defensive backfield. It's man coverage, but they leave a guy wide open. They've got to be counting their lucky stars that this ball was overthrown.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
That's another Falcons 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
From the shotgun, Wilson. This pass is caught by London. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Wilson will throw again. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, That's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense.
Here we go, bucket off the pick and roll. Gotta go, we don't move it scary. Last time a shed a tear, that when Prince died. Cause if we rockin', then you know we rockin' like it's Slipknot. See, this ain't basketball at halftime. We on switch sides. She thinks she love me, but she fell in love with my rich side. I got it for less. Flip that, then I got on a check. Dispatch, then we go on a race. Switch it up if that other place. Mix it up, got a lot of my